Welcome back to Sidetrack Garage. So we're going to be putting this turbo onto this four-wheeler. So I guess the first thing I probably ought to do is get that yanked out of there. We're not going to be needing that where we're going. And then put that something like that-ish. More like that. Or that. Or we could do that. Or that. Seems fine. I think that'll work. So I'm going to start to get all that stuff off. Because we got to get exhaust to this thing. And other stuff, which I'll explain pretty much as I go. Alright, so here's what I got figured out so far. I'm going to try to do something like that. Then got the outlet in a pretty good spot for the exhaust and the intake. Then just a slight bend in the pipe to come up to the turbo. Should work good. And we've also got the inlet for the oil and the drain right directly top and bottom. So that'll work out pretty good. Then I got the flange, that's the outlet for the turbo. So it kind of matches somewhat, sort of. It does fit pretty good. I did test it, but now I just got to make this hole. And hopefully, if I cut this out right, we won't interfere with this. That's the wastegate thing. Makes it so you don't put too many boostices into your motor and explode it. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's big enough to do so. I mean, you look at the inlet on that, and then the outlet. Then you look at that, I mean, how much are we really going to be putting through this? My guess is not as much as I think, probably more than I should. I don't know. We'll figure it out though. Oh, and they send us pretty neat sticker. It's like a 3D kind of thing. I like it. That's where the turbo came from, by the way. And so I don't know where to get flanges and whatnot, so that's how I'm making them. So I'm going to try to get this cut out, and maybe it will work. And then also I left a little bit of meat on here. Usually that comes up right here. That's the way the gasket is. But I figured we may want the integrity. So I'm going to get back on this and get the rest of them are easy. So we got a triangle and then two diamond shapes. Match that and that. And then we got that. That's the oil drain back. So yeah, I have no idea what to do with that, where to get stuff for that or anything like that. I may have the fitting that goes in here. Maybe. I don't know for sure. I think, I'm not sure, but I heard someone say something about these two being for coolant. Never heard of that on a turbo. Weird. But we don't need it, so that's fine. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to get back on this and see if I can make this work. So right there, roughly, is our flange for the back side of the turbo. Which actually lines up pretty good. And we won't interfere with that there. Just got to grind that off a little bit, get down here, get in here. Just kind of clean it up and round off some of the edges. But really not bad. Whether or not it seals, well, that's another story. This side doesn't really matter that much. It's this one I'm worried about. Something like that. I'm gonna add a little bit of extra so we can mount it down here, hopefully to this bar. And I don't know. We'll see how that works. Probably gonna have to get more pipe. And then all the oil things that I got for the turbo, not a single one of them fits, so that's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna get back to it. Just got the muffler cut off and unbolted. Won't be needing that where we're going. I think what I want to do now is go ahead and start it and see what it sounds like. That actually sounds pretty good. No wonder they put mufflers on those, but now we have a new muffler. So I got that flange made up finally. It's it'll work. It's not perfect, but it'll work. Like that. Yeah. And that does come to the very extreme edge, but so does the gasket. So that's going to work out just fine. Now I left this on here that way. We can come down here, probably weld a tab onto the frame, and then we can bolt this onto that tab. Then bring the exhaust to it. That'll probably work. Maybe. Should. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it now. I might have to rob some pipe off of something. Don't want to, but might have to. That what kind of... Oh wow. That pipe's actually way bigger than I thought it was. Hopefully we got room in there. We got room? Sure. Anyway, that pipe's got to come somewhere in there. So, I'm going to see what I can do about that. Alright, so I ended up running out of daytime yesterday. Happens. Would have been done, actually, but the welder kind of... No, it's no good. Yeah, just quit on me. No reason. But here's what I got done. Basically, the hot side is kind of sort of complete. All we got to do is make that flange, get a pipe on that, adapt it to this. Don't know how that's going to work. But it's mostly complete-ish, at least. So that's pretty cool. And then we'll have our flange on there. And it'll just kind of come out right there, follow the same path as the muffler. And honestly, it looks pretty good. This is off of the old Honda, this pipe here. Didn't want to have to do that, but I mean, could it have gone to a better cause? I don't think so. I mean, it's helping put turbo on an antique four-wheeler. So I think we did the right thing with it. Plus that one doesn't even have a motor. So but yeah, I was going to try to get that one going. Nope. Took this one apart a while ago. Forgot I took the motor out of it for the wire feed. It's gone. I don't know where it's at. That one is just completely not feeding whatsoever. I definitely expected better things from Hobart. I will say that for sure. Anyway, gonna try to figure out welders and then get this done, knocked out completely. And then we'll be able to rip it around. So yeah, I will be back with more. Alright, back in business now. Went ahead and got a new welder. That thing actually does pretty good. Yep, cheapest one I could find actually at the Harbor Freight. But anyway, went ahead and got this, all that done. Went ahead and painted it. Looks pretty good now. Now, I don't know where to put this massive thing. I didn't want to have to do it. I thought I might, but it may end up going somewhere in there. That's unfortunate because I wanted to keep that box on the four-wheeler, but I don't think it's going to work out. So I guess I'll start on that now. This whole thing is just take a step forward and then find out that doesn't work, and then take this off. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, and then just keep going with that. But I did get some fittings finally, fittings and lines for the oils. Now, as far as all that goes, I'm going to try to remember, in case someone wants to do this, what all I've got in this as far as fittings and hardware and stuff like that. I'll put that in the description if I remember to do it, because they do make stuff for this turbo to where you don't have to try to mix and match or just guess. But I didn't know those kits existed, so this is where we're at now. So I'm going to go ahead and get that off. And then put that over there. Alright. Okay. Here's what I got going on. Got our oil pump hooked into the headlights. Not going to stay that way. Don't worry about it. Oil is coming from right there. Return. Sucker upper. That is just an old gas can. The homemade catch can I made that I was going to use looks like that on the inside, so not using that anymore. Then here's what I got for my charge pipe. Perfect. It's not going to stay that way, don't worry about it. Just needed a way to test this, see if it'll run the way it is with air getting forced in, and we'll just see what it does. This is all we're doing right now. So there's the oil pump, ignitions. Um, I think it's a bit lean. That tire's kind of wet. Well, that was weird. It idles at least. It kind of sort of makes the turbo sound. Needs a little bit of stuff, apparently. It doesn't really care for air getting forced into it, obviously. Yep, cooking some oil. It's shiny though. So that's not good. But it runs sometimes, sort of. I think we're going to need some massive jets in that thing. I'm pretty sure the fuel screw's already turned up. Well, I would say I'm still going to call that a success. It runs. You could ride this. You just have to kind of baby it. And I don't exactly trust that and all that and that because it's kind of a lot of oil. I think I may have blown out the seals in the turbo. Maybe. I don't know. Have to look into that. Oh boy. Well, at least we got it going. The whole oil getting blown out, that's not that. It's fine. That's just horsepower sweat is all that is. Now I do need to get that taken care of, so need that, do the charge pipe, then we're set. That and need some more fuel into that thing is what it really needs. I'm going to try, the first thing I want to try is just maybe drill the jet just a little bit. I'm going to try that first. Probably going to end up being way too big, but we'll see what happens. There's oil all over the place right now. It is bad. That's going to do it for this one, though. I'll be back with it shortly, hopefully. Then, should have more fuel, a turbo that doesn't just puke oil, and an intake that actually holds air in. I don't know what that duct tape's doing, but it's hanging in there. I mean, you could ride this thing right now. Not a good idea, but you could. Just don't, because that's going to lead to some very bad things, I feel like. So that's going to do it for this one. Go ahead and hit subscribe, because this thing will be back and it's going to be pretty cool. Still got to do the tailpipe on it. Anyway, thanks for watching. And go ahead and like if you like it. Hit the like button, you know. And maybe even leave a comment. But I'll see you next time.